All right, all right, all right. Time for a little training on the how to work these co-op leads. Facebook Melaleuca co-op leads. Super excited. We have a system here that pretty much assures if you just do a few simple things, you, my friend, are going to be pleasantly shocked at how much you can earn and how easy and the main thing, the big main thing, what you are doing for the people who engage with you. That's what this is all about. So, right here on this page, coop.nodoubts.net is where you should be seeing this. We're going to cover the 6 questions that open up your prospect's mind. Yes, it's going to take practice. You need this to be you own the thoughts, you own the mindset, you own the words. And we're going to start now with you're going to see the download co-op before the call PDF. Well, all you have to do is click here and it will bring it up. We're just going to cover a few things on here. One, to know what actually happened. And if you came from the co-op, you already kind of know this, but for those that didn't, here's the thing. The prospect saw the Facebook ad. You saw the Facebook ad if you are, so you know this actually works, right? And the ad is talking about timing and early positioning. Everybody yes, we have to activate the FOMO, fear of missing out a bit, and intentionally because the co-ops don't run forever indefinitely. Anyway, so then they fill out the form in that ad, and Facebook pre-fills some of that for them. This builds trust because Facebook knows them. They're legit, and they have to confirm twice that yes, I want this information, and as it shows here, means real intent. Then they reach the download page where they can get the ebook, and the ebook repeats this whole message of early timing and positioning, right? Now, just in case they bounced off that page, they're also getting an instant email, as it shows here, that thanks them, gives them the download link again, and covers them in case they did blow off that page. From there, and here's the amazing part for us, it begins a 14-day warm up. Every 2 days, the system emails them messages encouraging them, explaining to them its timing and get on board, lets them know a company rep is going to reach out to them. You, yes, you, all right? So, this sets up an expectation before you ever contact them. Now, here's what you need to do. After they've been warmed up for 2 weeks with 7 emails talking about great stuff and telling them you're going to get a hold of them, all right? As soon as you get that lead, you're going to send them a text. And here's some example uh, wording, right? Thanks for registering on Facebook. Send. Just wanted to reach out. Send. When you have 5 minutes, I'd love to chat. Period. Now, can you do this whole thing in one go? Yes, you can, or 2 goes. Kind of depends on your feel for, because it's either text, 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 or just one text. It's up to you. All right? But important, you do not pitch, you don't send links, you don't explain anything. This is just to get them to reach out to you. Okay, now you're also going to save this contact's information, as they could say, the right way. All right, if you've ever dealt with big lists or lists coming at you that aren't part of your normal contact framework, this is really, really good advice. We use Google Contacts. In the first name field box, whatever you want to call it, put the lead's first and last name, Bob Smith, Mary Hart, whatever it is. Then in the last name field, put Facebook prospect or co-op prospect. That way, if they call or text and they pop up on your screen, you're going to see Bob Smith, Mary Hart, and it's going to say Facebook prospect, co-op prospect in the last name field, so you know exactly where this person came from and who they are. Okay? From there, now, they're going to reach out to you, go the time, like, hey, yeah, or they'll try calling you, whatever the case might be. Your mission is to then go over this page, this information. There is a cheat sheet. Let's take a look at that. All right, it's all just bullet pointed here, along with the leverage talk we're going to talk about on the other page, on the first page, right? Okay, so this is super important that you stick to this track because it matches their experience they've had, the reality of why they're talking with you. They did, in fact, see a Facebook ad and responded to it for some reason. They did, in fact, just get warmed up for 2 weeks. All right? We need to capitalize on that and then move into our track. Okay, so here it goes. You've got them, and you can have a little chit chat. Hey, hi, Bob. Hi, Mary, whoever they are. Super glad that you reached out and that we've got this time. Be a human, right? All right. And then when the flow has gotten to the point where you can now kick this thing off, because that's what they're expecting, for you to know where this is going. They may have questions, and if they do, that's cool. If they start right out, well, what is this? And I was working, da, da, da. Glad you asked is really disarming. And you give a little pause. Glad you asked. That sends a signal to their brain that says, you're about to explain stuff. Glad you asked. What was it? Now you start the track right here, starting with question 1, Q1, right there. What was it about the Facebook ad that got your attention? They're not going to object to telling you that. Let them talk, and you listen and take notes, because they can say something that you just go, oh, wow, am I going to come back to that? It'll be something important that they're going to say, because usually what got their attention was something that addresses an immediate life, real-time concern, and you're going to want to know what that is. They'll tell you. Great. They've told you what it was. Great. I'm curious. Have you ever been involved in a business you started from Facebook before? Whatever you do when you say these things, don't keep talking. Don't fill in. Don't even really contribute with the oh yeah, yeah, wow, Just let them talk. Let them wind down, because that silence on your part, that willingness to just let it flow, sends a huge confidence message. Okay? Now, just so you know, in the land of communication, have you ever been involved in a business you started from Facebook is actually an embedded command? We are speaking directly to their subconscious mind saying, we have a business we can start from Facebook. It literally communicates that without having to say it quite that way. All right, they're going to say, no, I haven't. Most likely. You might get that rare person that says, absolutely, I'm out there, I'm joining stuff, I'm doing things. Cool. It doesn't matter what they say exactly, but pay attention and don't rush it. Then, question 3 right here. This begins our own personal team track that we're running on. Here it goes. It's universal in its appeal. Everyone has one of these. What is that? So they've said, no, never have started a business I got from Facebook. Okay, hey, let me ask you, if you could change one thing that would make your life better, more fun, less stress. So what I'm telling you is, this is a structure. You're going to build your conversation around actual words, meaning do not try and do these verbatim every time. It's a structure. You're asking, if you could change one thing that would make your life better, less stress, more fun, more choices, whatever it might be, don't overdo it, right? What would that thing be? Let them talk. And when they stop, are they just taking a breath? Are they collecting their thoughts to continue? You won't know if you jump right in to fill that silence. Go slow. Let them set the pace. Let silence be your friend. Okay? They're going to tell you whatever that was. Then you're going to go to question number 4. And you're going to say stuff when they've got done, when they're done, they've run out of gas on that. Then you're going to say, wow, yeah, I get that. So what would it take to make that happen? You're going to learn a lot here. You're going to find out, are they in touch with their whole life, right? I don't know. Whatever it was they said. Now, up here, what's the one thing? It could be, the one thing would be that we can buy a new car because the old one keeps breaking down. The one thing would be that I could stop having to do 2 jobs. I put in 16 hours a day between the 2 places. Like, whatever it is, okay, they're going to tell you. Be making notes. And then what would it take to make that happen? In a lot of cases, it's going to be just more money, more income, higher pay. It could be a health thing. It could be anything. All right. When they get done here, and this may not take long, because they may say, I really don't know. I've just been trying and trying to make it happen. And I'd have to live long enough, something, whatever, right? Question 5 comes up now. So what's your plan to do that? And make sure you sound sincere. You're really asking, what's your plan? Because once in a while, you're going to get somebody, well, my plan is, and they're going to tell you the plan. And they're in the middle of that plan, and they're working their plan. It's okay if they have a plan, by the way. It's fine from where we go from here. Okay? But most of the time, it's going to be, if I had a plan, I'd be doing it. Or I don't have a plan. I have no idea what I'm going to do to get out of this. Okay. Again, don't interrupt them. Don't be in a rush. This is stuff they're like, wow. Because nobody has ever asked them this stuff. Nobody's cared enough. Nobody's listened. You're going to be the one person in their life probably that is actually hearing them. Okay. So what's your plan? They don't know. Now you're going to go to 5A. For these co-op leads, I would say jump right into this one, 5A. What we're doing now is we're launching into a series that's going to take us to setting an appointment to show the plan. That's the mission of this call. Getting them to where they're willing to see the plan, either because you have an upline that's doing Zooms, you're going to send them to see the video. We have a video on it. And whatever it is, though, but that's where we're going with this. But we want to make sure now, if we actually have a viable prospect. Well, what's a viable prospect? 5A tells us this. So they've said, you've said, what's your plan? Ultimately, they wound down. They don't have a plan or whatever. Okay, let me ask you something. Do you ever buy stuff online, like from Walmart or Amazon or stores like that? And it's important that they say yes. Not, oh God, no. I never put anything, no. I don't buy stuff. I don't trust them. The chances of you running into somebody like that from a Facebook lead, pretty remote, because they're already engaged with, their whole personality, presence, information, blah, 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 already. So you're looking to hear, well, yeah, I do. Great. Now, if they say no, if you get a dead hard no, you're done. You need to then have your exit strategy, which, by the way, if you end up needing to use the exit strategy, it's not even scripted here, but just hear this. They said, no, never, don't do that. Okay, you know what? This opportunity that we're working with is pretty much online and does involve products and stuff that people buy online because there's no physical store they go to. So, this probably is not going to be a good fit. Pause. Well, wait. Hold on. Maybe I could expect, because what? You're willing to dump me? Like my last boyfriend, girlfriend, ex-wife, whatever, what? People typically don't like being told they don't qualify. This isn't a fit. So expect them to maybe make a run back into the deal, right? But let's go on with, yeah, we get stuff from Amazon all the time, or shop on Walmart or the grocery store, or just drive up and they bring it out. It's pretty cool. Excellent. So if you could make that change, now again, this is structured, not verbatim. If you could make that change, meaning if you could buy that, be able to buy that car, if you could dump that job, dump that boss, if you could make whatever it is happen just by changing stores where you buy things you guys use every day at home, would you like to see a plan that's worked for others to do exactly that? Can you see how hard it would be to say no to that? And that's the point. Well, yeah, what is it? Okay, cool. Now you're going to push for the appointment. You're just going to have to tell them, hey, you know what? There's different things you can say. I've got several people I've got to get through, but we're doing a Zoom, or we can set up an appointment, or I work with a partner. Whatever it is, you're going to need to know. Or if you are in the position where you don't have someone you're working with right now, which is not likely, but in case, then you can say, okay, look, here's what I want to do. I want to send you a page with 2 videos on it. One asks the same question we just did, going through, what would be that one thing, and then on the same page is the plan in an outline form. If I send it to you, when could you watch? Total time between them is about 15 minutes between the 2 videos. It's actually shorter than that, but when do you think you could do that and make the appointment to follow up? And it's not an appointment if you don't have a firm when they could watch it. And okay, 15 minutes, okay, like later tonight, tomorrow, after work, whatever it is, set an appointment. Okay, so that's it. You're here to make an appointment. Let's go down a few things left. If you could change the one thing, ask you, and by the way, you can do this not from co-op. If you're talking to somebody and they didn't come from the Facebook co-op, they're just somebody, you can ask. Start with, if you could change one thing, what would it be? Right? Ask the question, and for a while, if you want, ask the question to people and don't even go any further. Just say, oh, cool. Well, why'd you ask? Oh, I've got to blame it on a friend. I've got a friend that was asking me to collect some answers. Doesn't matter. What would it take to do that? It's always going to be more money, time, choices, freedom, less bills, and whatever it is that it takes to get that job done, right? What's your plan? Ask with a genuine desire. You do want to know if they've got one at all, right? And then question 5A is the qualifier. If they're just hardcore, no, I don't shop online for nothing, they're not a prospect. They never will be for us, or really for anything, because, there is no MLM company out there where you show up at the door and walk in and shop. It's all done online. All right. And if you could make things change just by changing where you buy things, would you like to see how that works? That's hard to say no to. All right. And then here's the page, the list. Let me pop that up real quick. I'll just, let's just open it in a new tab. Pop over to that new tab so that you can see what it looks like. 2 videos. Okay. And this question one starts out with them hearing the same question you just asked them. All right. And let's take a look. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Got a quick question, right? And then the plan, it moves into the plan, which is
All right. Time,
just
choices.
under
Yes.
6
More.
minutes. So between them, they got 10 minutes. All right. And then here's where we're trying to go with the plan. Product list. Which products do you use? We want to get them after seeing the plan to then move into that product list. That's where this whole thing goes. And so, final thing, the leveraged talk, the ultimate leveraged talk to enroll them. You want to have this as your mindset. It comes down to if they are resistive at all, after seeing the plan and seeing, wow, we're just exchanging products we've already been buying, all the whole story, right? At the end of the day, if they're still not jumping right all over it, it's going to fall under three possible things. One, they don't know if they can do it or if it will work for them. Or they have money concerns about spending extra money out of their income, not realizing you're already spending the money yet, hasn't soaked in yet. Or they're just not clear on how it actually works. Well, if you're steering them into the co-op, that's even better because you're going to get names sent to you and then you're going to text them and then you're going to follow up just like this. But this is your talk. Underlying all of it is knowing what an enormous blessing you're about to be in their life. Seriously. Okay? So, if they do not bring up one of these three things themselves, we've actually learned you can lead them into it. And you can read this on the page, but it's real easy to just, before you're about ready to say, hey, we need you to open a shopping account here, or come on board as a customer, or whatever it is, right? You can actually lead them into this talk by simply saying, right about now, some people say, and the scripting is here, or a few people wonder, could this really work for me? And can I really afford a business? How about you? Is this something you're wondering? Right here. You've just opened the door for them to be, yes, that's me. I really am wondering. Okay. It doesn't matter what they say. I'm going to just fire this whole thing off for you, all right, without reading it verbatim per se, but it's the talk. Okay. So, yeah, okay, people do wonder. Here's the cool part. You've been watching this work on you from the moment you answered the ad for the co-op leads, right? Yeah, you know, and then 2 weeks of emails keeping in contact with you. Do you know how many of those I sent? None. So let me ask you this. Could you just watch something like that happen for you? Well, yes, I could. Okay. And then after the system sent you the emails, they told me now it's time to send you a text. And I did. Could you can send a text, right? Yeah, I could. All right. And then from the list of things that you've now seen, because they've done the which products do you use, you already spend that money. It's not new expenses coming out of your pocket. And every time you run out, you go back to the store and buy it again, right? Yep. So, but that store doesn't give you a business or send you checks. This store does. And if for any reason you decided, you know what, I like the old store better, well, you just go back to shopping at the old store. Make sense? Yep. That's the leverage talk. But it has to come from you. You need to get it. That's really the way it is. They change stores, they get a business. Everything they're buying from their business can be a tax expense, a taxable tax event, right? Where they can save because it's a business expense. All of that is for real. All right. Then you can just say, you know what? all you got to do is open a shopping account, and we kind of get things working for you now instead of working on you. Make sense? Yes. All right. Here's some alternate endings if you don't want to do the do you ever buy anything from online, shop online at all? I'm Question 5 is, I may have something that could help you with finding that. Would you like to see what it is? Just, you can read these, but just leading right into, do you ever buy anything online from stores like Amazon, Walmart, whatever, eBay? All right, my friend. The rest is going to be in-person touch point role play training. Whatever you want to do, we're here to work with you because it did work on you. Pretty cool, huh? Bye for now.